Hey, hey, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the Radleigh Valentine Show. So, I am here today by the courtesy of the good folks at mindbodyspirit.fm, or you may be watching this on my YouTube channel at radleighvalentine.com or at Radleigh Valentine on YouTube. Wherever you're watching it or listening to it, I hope you guys are doing well. So, I wanted to talk to you today about a weirdness that's going on in my life. And you could even call it a confession. My whole life has been about coming out of one closet or another. And so something really weird has been going on in my life ever since I moved back home to Denver. And I've sort of been keeping it on the down low, largely because I just don't know what to think about it. And it's really strange. But, I thought, you know what, maybe I'll just come out of this closet too. And maybe in doing so, I'll get some sort of like revelations on it. And and this time it's not about angels, it's not about tarot, it's not about Disney, it's not even about dogs. Although let's be honest, my life it's always a little bit about dogs. But this time it's about pastels. Yes, pastels. So I don't even know how it happened or where it's coming from. But suddenly my life has turned into a soothing strawberry ice cream colored wonderland. Mint green, pale blue, butter yellow. I mean, Violet keeps knocking at the door too, like, hey, you let me in. Now, if you were to know me personally, and some of you do, I have always been a jewel tone person my entire life. Amethyst purple, sapphire blues, emerald greens, drama, glamour, depth. I mean, think about it. Think about my card decks, the images that are there. Think about the colors that I see the archangels in. It's like, wow, it's the power colors. So when I suddenly caught myself seriously wanting to buy pastel throw pillows, I could literally hear Morticia Adams in my head from Adam's Family Values, where she's looking at me all judgy and going, "Really, Radley? Pastels?" And yet, here we are. But you know me, I can't just go, okay, it's a decorating detour. I had to ask myself, what is going on here spiritually? Because I've learned that even the most seemingly ridiculous things are often messages from the soul. So I turned to my spiritual BFF and color maestro, Fraser, and said, help me. I've been taken over by mint green. And Dougal, being the pastel positive person he is, didn't bat an eye. And so he reminded me that pale green represents vibrancy. It's the aliveness that comes after a dark season. And wow, after the 3 incredibly challenging years that I had living elsewhere, that makes so much sense. Of course, I'm craving vibrancy. Of course, I want softness, healing, and a fresh start. But that's not all. So let's just take this one step more magical, shall we? Because if we look at the pastel colors through the lens of the archangels, that's when things really start to click. So let's start with pale green. So when it came time to paint the inside of my house that I had bought, for reasons I could not fathom, every time I walked into my bedroom, I wanted it to be pale green. I just wanted it to be pale green. I just did. And I wasn't really thinking about it. I just knew that's what I was feeling drawn to. And so I picked this color out. Oh, I wish I'd written down what it was called. It was hilarious. It was like, oh, I forget what it was called, but it's like I'm like, okay, this is what I'm doing. And so my contractor painted it green. And my first thought was, oh, this was a mistake. Why did I do this? But I didn't like immediately have it painted over, which is the kind of thing I would do is immediately change it. But I didn't do that. I gave it some time and I so I did that, and it started to really grow on me. And so then I found this rug that was pale blue and pale green, and this whole thing started to take place. It started to be like, I'm going to use pale blue and pale green together. I've never heard of anybody doing it, but I think they look really good together. So I painted the room green. I bought pale green sheets, but also pale blue sheets. I bought this vintage pale blue um, quilt. I just started buying all this stuff, and it's right now my favorite room in the house. It's like I love my bedroom. And if you think about pale green is Archangel Shamuel, the archangel of personal peace. He helps us find calm in chaos. He helps us remember who we are when the world feels loud. And for me, the world was extremely aggressively, annoyingly, abusively loud for the last 3 years. And so I've been working closely with Shamuel, and maybe without realizing it, I was calling him in through every mint green candle and pillow. And, it makes sense. I needed peace. After all that chaos, I needed peace. But I also needed life to be vibrant. And so it's like in retrospect, it makes sense. But then there's the pale blue. And so pale blue is Raguel. Raguel is the angel of harmony and healed relationships. He brings people together. And I'm like, I was moving back home. Moving home meant reconnecting with the people that I cared for, rebuilding bonds. But also, what are we doing here? Finding peace with my own past, right? It's like finding peace from my own past. It's like in my past, when I was in my 20s, things I loved were quilts and stained glass, and it's like I loved these things, and then over the years I got away from them because they didn't match the design aesthetic of whoever I was with. And but now I'm alone, and it's like now I'm drawn to these things again. I just want them. It's like I just want these quilts, and I want this stained glass, and I want this stuff. It's like I'm just drawn to it. And so it's like a recreation. It's bringing the angel of harmony into healing my own relationship with myself. How does that sound to you? Healing your own relationship with yourself. Now, pink was a funny one, okay? Because pink was not really the thing that was kind of in my life. I've in the past I've said things like I was pinkophobic or whatever, but now it's like pink is showing up. And so um pink is Archangel Ariel, the angel of prosperity and manifestation. She helps us to receive abundance with grace, and not just financial abundance, but joy, beauty, creativity, all of the things that go with that color. Dougal Fraser would tell you pink is self care. That's what he would say. It's self care. Well, here I am, fresh out of a divorce, back home where I belong, with my dogs, trying to set up life in a house, trying to feel safe, trying to feel, because it's like if you've ever been divorced, it's at least for one of the people, it's a financial nightmare. And it was for me. And so adjusting to that and coming back into a place of peace, taking care of myself, being in a place of self care. My therapist told me this amazing story. He told me that um, flamingos, which are pink, right? But the female flamingos lose their color and become white when they're pregnant and giving birth to children. And it's like the pink comes from a nutrient, this thing that they eat. And so it's like this thing of how they're giving away all their energy to the child. And eventually the pink will come back. But he used it as a metaphor to, you had all the pink sapped out of you. You had all the energy sapped out of you. You are going back to being healthy. Going back to being healthy, right? And so, I also talked about how violet is sort of like sneaking in. And when I think of violet, I think of either Archangel Metatron, who's violet and pale green. So that's those two colors together, who is the archangel for sensitive people, but also the archangel of grounding and focus, which is what I needed. right? I needed grounding and focus. The other archangel that's a little bit violet, but more just sort of purple, is Archangel Jeremiel. And one of his things is life review and self forgiveness. So now, if it's like, I look at my bedroom, for example, and it's like giving me baby shower meets ethereal sanctuary. I mean, I don't see it anymore as a decorating mistake. Oh, and I just see it as some sort of refining myself or finding new elements of myself, seeing a spiritual invitation. You know, if I go back for just a second to green, I am obsessed with green. It's like it's starting to morph into blue, pale blue, but seriously, it's just that pale, it's green. And it's not just pale green, it's all greens. It's like chartreuse will draw me across a room faster than anything you ever saw. Chartreuse, it's like, oh my God, really, Radley? But it's like, I'm just trying to let it happen. I'm just trying to let it be. I'm trying not to judge it or judge myself, but just to go, this is what makes me happy right now. So why not? Why not? You know, our spirits are always evolving, sometimes dramatically, sometimes quietly, and sometimes it can change the color palette. I mean, I believe we all go through seasons where the way we used to dress, the music we used to love, the colors we used to decorate with, it all just stops feeling like us. It just changes. It doesn't, it's no longer a resonance. It's no longer a vibrational match. And that can feel confusing or even silly. But those subtle shifts, they should be looked at as sacred. It's like your soul is saying, "Hey, we're not in that place anymore. We've softened, we've healed. We want something different." I mean, maybe you felt that way too. Maybe you've looked around and thought, wait a second, when did I start buying everything in sage green? Or maybe you found yourself crying at commercials or needing more stillness than usual. These are signs. They might be tiny ones, but they're holy ones because healing doesn't always roar. Sometimes it just whispers in butter yellow. You know what I'm saying? So I want to offer you a little practice. If you're somewhere where you can close your eyes safely, go ahead. If not, just imagine along with me. Please don't do this if you're driving a car or whatever. You know what you know common sense here. But just take a breath and ask your soul, what color do I need right now? What color do I need right now? Now, this is not necessarily your favorite color. It's not necessarily the one that matches your shoes or your bag, but it's the one that brings you or you peace. Or maybe it's the one that makes your heart sigh, or it's the one that feels like home. Or maybe it's the one that makes you laugh, or the one that just makes you smile. Let that color fill your mind's eye. Let it swirl around you like an angelic breeze. So just do that for a minute. Just let that color swirl around you. And then ask yourself, what does this color mean to me? Why this color? What does this color mean to me? What might this color be trying to offer me? What might this color be trying to offer me? And is there an angel whose presence might be linked to this color? Is there an angel whose presence might be linked to this color? And you could Google that, but just let your intuition speak. You might want to journal afterwards or even invite that color into your life. Light a candle, wear a scarf, buy a flower, small things, soft things, sacred things. Okay. So, in the end, while it feels really weird to me, I don't think this newfound love of pastels is as weird as I thought in talking it out with you. I think maybe it's just an energetic shift I've been going through, a shift that maybe many of us are going through, calling in healing or connection or joy in new and unexpected ways. And if you're feeling that too, then lean into it. Lean into it. Let your soul redecorate. Let your angels repaint the walls. Let go of who you were so you can embrace who you're becoming. I'll say it again. Let go of who you were so that you can embrace who you're becoming, even if that person has a fondness for chartreuse or butter yellow or pale green or pale blue. That softness is strength. That joy is holy. And that peace, it might just be a pastel. I did want to let you guys know that I am going to be in San Rafael, California, May 9th through the 11th at the 22nd annual New Life Expo at the Marin Center. So this year's theme is exploring human consciousness. I will be speaking twice. First, I'll be on the panel with 5 other speakers hosted by the podcaster Mind Body Spirit on Friday, May 9th at 6 p.m. till 7:30 p.m. Next, I'll be speaking on my own for 90 minutes on Saturday, May 10th from 4:30 to 6 p.m. And if you would like to be there to see me, you can find out all about it at thenewlivingexpo.com. So thanks for listening, my friends. I'm sending you all the colors your heart needs and all the angels who carry them. And until then, stay magical, stay curious, and you know what? Hey, maybe go buy a better yellow throw blanket. Why not? I'm just saying.